Hello and welcome to another edition of the ProView Sports Report. It's been another great week as district is getting ready to wind down. Final week of district is this one before we go into those district tournaments. Those will all be next week. You can find a lot of them right here on ProView Sports. Aaron Rivera here. No Steve Davis today. He's up at New Mexico Highlands University today as those girls are getting ready to be playoff bound. We'll see how they all turn out. But let's take a look at some of the big games that happened this week here on ProView Sports. We're going to start things off with a huge one in girls 5A District 1, Farmington versus Volcano Vista. Farmington needed a big win to catch things up. The Volcano Vista Hawks in control of number 1 as Jalissa Hines drops a big 3 to get things kicking off. And Carisdale for the Farmington Scorpions. Not too bad. Knocks down a 3 of her own. Farmington kind of takes control, and then we see Mia Zuniga come in with the big 3. So the Hawks and the Scorpions were going back and forth early on. Genoa Parish was a big part of that game as well, but Hines, with Zuniga wasn't hitting the points, so it was Jalissa Hines who was kind of taking control in that one. You see, even here in the later parts of the opening half, good feed underneath for the Farmington Scorpions. And the Scorpions kind of mixed it up, but as I mentioned for the Hawks, Jalissa Hines just kind of took control for Volcano Vista, kept these two teams back and forth as it went. Carisdale, another big point for her. Still haven't seen Anatelu pop up just yet for them, but that's how they finished out the half. Farmington down by just 1. And then Aaliyah Archuleta, the senior for the Farmington Scorpions, comes in with the big Euro step, giving them the lead, and that's when they just kind of took control. The Volcano Vista Hawks couldn't get their offense working in the third quarter as the two sides basically split. The first quarter was all Farmington, second was all Volcano, third went all Farmington Scorpions. Finally, Hines is able to get them, but it took Volcano a while to really get going in that third, and then it became a big question of do they have enough to come back late in the fourth. 52-41 is how this one would end up winding down. And that one was big because that puts these two teams tied atop the district. 52-41, and with them sitting tied atop the district, we could very well have a tiebreaker coming up between those two schools as, they, despite Farmington winning both, from what we saw in the rule book, there should be a district tiebreaker if the two teams finish up tied. Now, of course, they still have some final games to finish up this week. Next up, speaking of district games, we've got a fun one coming up in 4A as the Valley Vikings and Del Norte Knights faced off on Monday to get this week started off. So Del Norte coming off of a big win against Albuquerque Academy. Valley coming off of a loss. It was senior night at Valley High School. Here is Gavin Gomez for the Knights, kicking things off for them.
They haven't found the basket
Luciano Mondragon, one of the seniors for that Valley Viking squad. Kind of coming in big to start things off as the Valley Vikings and Del Norte Knights. These district games tend to not be when you have teams that are so close in the standings, and we'll be taking a look at those a little bit later on today. Here's Gavin Gomez getting another move as they come out to him for the 3. Splash City. You can see here the Del Norte Knights went on a run to finish off the half.
Offensive board is there.
Here's Kane Bren. He wants a 3, and he's going to get it right off of the glass there. So Del Norte in control as they move into the second half here.
You're going to go all the way. Good call. But
So Valley had some cutting to do.
The
Started off there with a nice little offensive board for DeVargas. Angelito Villa, he's a guy that for the Valley Vikings has been huge for them all year long. When he's getting cooking, Valley can actually get working. But an 8-point deficit to start the final quarter. Angelito Villa comes in quick with the 2. And we'll see Kevin DeVargas as the defense was stepping up for the Valley Vikings, keeping them around.
Nearly loses the handle. Gets it
There's
over to
Gavin
Omar
Gomez That three,
Gomez.
and that should be the dagger, right? 3 minutes left right there. They've got plenty of space. Angelito Villa, he's got one to respond, and now it's a 2-point game. Luciano Mondragon, 10 seconds. Contested shot. Mondragon able to tie it up. 3 seconds here. Can Del Norte get the game winner from half court? No. That means overtime, folks. And in the overtime, Del Norte starts it off. Leandre Grant.
The baby goes up strong, misses. Offensive board, shot goes up. Oh!
There it is. Lee Grant.
In.
Fantastic player, nice kid as well. And then Luciano Mondragon, he will drive in, get the points. He has the free throw opportunity to take the lead, which he sinks. Sachivi and drives through. So obviously, just like in the early parts of this game, it's back and forth. And since they're not in tying position, a big three right there gives them the space. I believe this is Grant again. Sinks it down to tie it up.
Too much time.
Now there's no time. They're playing keep away. Last possession. Mondragon steps up for the two. Wins it. The Valley Vikings beat the Del Norte Knights 53-51 in overtime. And that district, I mean, everybody, you'll see when we go to our scoreboard a little bit later on, everybody is beating everybody in that district right now because we'll also see that the Hope Christian Huskies beat the Valley Vikings. So Del Norte beats Academy. Vikings beat Del Norte. Hope beats the Valley Vikings. And then the Albuquerque Academy Chargers beat the Hope Christian Huskies last week. So everybody, I mean, that district, everybody can beat anybody. That's kind of the fun part to it. Well, we had two big games in District 1 last night. Do we have time for both of them, or should we take a quick break? We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here on the ProView Sports Report. We'll be back right after these messages. Right here for the Siegler Cougars as that one is denied.
Another chance for Adams, but he hits it.
Trying to thread the needle and he threw it away. That's unforced error. Here comes the game. And Ocellian makes up for the mistake.
Entirely new crew out here. Next time we get a whistle, Adams scores again. Adams gets the put back and he puts it right back again.
What a beautiful bounce. But Oli, who Euro stepped by a defender for the layup. Another dime from... Inside, another dunk, two-hand slam.
Bounce pass, stolen away, fast hands, Bramlett gives it to Butler, dunks it! Dumps it off to Lovato, banks it in, good pass by McKinney. 6:55. Still, one hand dunk for Peters.
Lobbed upstairs to the elevator.
An inbound play.
Hopes catch. Oh, block Butler. Huge. Diabage.
They got a good shot up now. They got a good shot.
Harris, 12 seconds left. Poked away.
Oh,
Butler. Here comes the money. No. Yes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Welcome back here, ProView Sports Report. Glad you're with us here, ProView Networks, on Comcast Channel 26, as well as on YouTube if you're watching us over there. Glad you're with us. So I did skip a game, and speaking of districts where everybody's kind of beating everybody, there was a big game between the El Dorado Eagles and the Santa Fe Demons last week on Saturday, and the Santa Fe Demons, hoping to stay in contention at the top of that district. Well, the El Dorado Eagles come out here firing early on. Here is Kalijah Irving. Irving's going to come in with the big scoop. That skyhook action, I'm sure Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would be proud. Love to see the skyhooks anytime. Joe Gonzalez, he gets the three to tie it, but kind of comes quiet for a while for the Santa Fe Demons. Malachi Green driving in here on a nice Euro step, but El Dorado, who's kind of been sitting at the bottom of that district, they're beating Santa Fe early on. We're here late in the second. There's a nice fadeaway for Santa Fe to bring it back in, but here comes Charlie Wills. Wills with a post-up shot. Boom. Knocks it down, making it. We see here into the third. El Dorado leads at the end of each quarter. Kalijah Irving with a good second opportunity shot right there. You see Malachi Green on the inbound. It's taken away, and then Green comes up, drops the two, draws the foul. You see El Dorado's in control here, up by 6. Now they're up by 8. And Santa Fe in the closing moments right here, trying to get themselves in position to make a comeback in the fourth. They're back down by 8. Here's Malachi Green again. He had a great run there late in the third. And then, I mean, there's just no time left. Green draws the foul right here, offensive charge. And so, I mean, the time is starting to run away from Coach Rivera there. No relation, by the way, 46-54. After they discuss it, though, they decide blocking foul.
One official had a block.
Coach Sanchez, of course, did not like that one at all, and this is kind of where the spark starts to turn around. You see the gap closes now to 3.
To tie it up short. Gets his own rebound, finds the opening.
Now it's going to be down to 1, with just 2 minutes left to go. Joe Gonzalez, who just dropped that basket, comes up, step up 2.
It's a 2.
Long 2 there.
Wells, Morrison
inside to Emiliano Morrison. He ties it up, and then with 12 seconds to go, big free throw right now.
Roy have any timeout? I thought he might ice him.
23.
Drops that one down, and then with the final timeout, they go to the shot for Green, and he doesn't make it. Santa Fe get by the skin of their teeth, winning against the El Dorado Eagles in regular time, 65-64, keeping them in position at the top of the district. The problem for them is that they have to play the 2 other teams at the top of that district along with them, the Santa Fe Demons and the La Cueva Bears. So we're going to get into that again when we get to the scoreboard. They have one more game remaining now. It's against the Sandia Matadors with one last chance to stay at the top. But let's take a look at District 1, who had 2 big games on the boys' side last night. The first one, the Cleveland Storm, or which one we got first, Cleveland or Cibola?
Denning.
We're going to go Cibola Farmington. This is a game that I was at last night. Noah Critchlow, had a really big game to start things off. There was a steal and rush in. Cibola took advantage early on. Elijah Martinez from way downtown. Get used to watching that. You're going to see it a lot this year. Here's Michael Beck, who's been a star for Farmington for years now. It's amazing. I mean, he's finally a senior for them, but here's Critchlow feeding Isaiah Weinrich. We're going to see a big highlight from him a little bit later on, but Michael Beck was in control for Farmington. In the first quarter, it was all Michael Beck and then Dylan So, and for the Cougars, Elijah Martinez, no surprise there. Big threes. We're finally into the second here. There's Dylan So. They kept feeding him, so there's about 5 times there that people would drive in and then feed Dylan So. There's Elijah Martinez. Cuts through the blockers. And finally, Landon Begay was kept scoreless in the first. Gets through the first half of the second quarter. Knocks that 3, completes the 4-point play, then right afterwards gets another big 3 to get Farmington in fighting range, but then Cibola was able to take advantage. Farmington was at 5 fouls. Finish out the quarter, Isaiah Weinrich with a big hammer down jam. And they go right back to him to start off the second. Isaiah Weinrich, a pretty good day, scored in every quarter. Michael Beck, scoreless in the second quarter, fighting in there to try and bring his team back in it.
Isaac Behrens alone in the corner.
Big shots by Isaac Behrens, big sophomore forward. See Dylan So again. He was fighting. I mean, he had a great game. He beat his scoring average, but you see another one. Isaac Behrens got a little hot there, shot a couple of 3s in a row, and put Cibola in this position. We're here in the fourth. There's Michael Beck getting another point, but Cibola was at this point up 15, up 13, now up 16 as Christopher Williams joins the 3-point scoring party. And here's a great block sequence. So steal by Beck, Elijah Martinez gets the block on him. Out to Behrens for the 3. Nope. Soteris Griego popped in there. And Cibola would end up walking this one out, 73-62. Big victory for the Cibola Cougars there, as the Cibola Cougars will now sit in the 3 spot alone there for District 1. And that's big for them because they, of course, face the Volcano Vista Hawks to finish out their district play. They and Farmington were tied in that 3 spot. Farmington now goes below Cibola. Farmington finishes out their week against the Piedra Vista Panthers, who are below them in the district. Now, anything can happen. We've already seen this before in District 1, but Farmington will certainly hope that they can beat Piedra Vista, and Cibola won't have the firepower to beat the Volcano Vista Hawks. Well, speaking of the Volcano Vista Hawks, guess who's our final highlight of the day? It's the Volcano Vista Hawks taking on the Cleveland Storm. This is at Volcano Vista, and right from the tip, the Volcano Vista Hawks always get it going, and Kenyon Owino, they feed underneath to Kenyon. Kenyon drops one down. Here comes David Lund next. I mean, that's the problem when you deal with these Volcano Vista Hawks, already up by 9. 2,000 career points. It comes on a slam dunk for Kenyon Owino. How special is that? The man headed to Montana next year. But Cleveland, they've still got firepower. Here's Remy Albrecht, who since he was an 8th grader has been a big scorer for this Cleveland Storm side, but when you're facing Kenyon Owino, sometimes he might only put up 15 points, but days like this one, Owino was just working, finding shots from just inside of the arc right there. Now Cleveland has closed up the gap right here. It's now up to 8, but then you get an open look for David Lund, and he's going to slam it every time. Hudson Brown means we're looking at something from outside the arc. And we're finding it. Here's Titus Sutton. Nice little cut underneath for the Cleveland Storm as the Volcano Vista Hawks opened it up to double digits. Closing in the end of the half, Sutton, who just put up that last basket we saw, under duress, fighting through Ryan Gonzalez, and now Remy Albrecht to start out this second half. But you can see that gap is getting wider and wider. Owino with another basket, plus he'd be coming up to the line to follow it up. Hudson Brown with the 3, but Kenyon Owino will get the rebound. I mean, just so smooth underneath. There's a reason why Sebastian calls him Big Smooth. It's a 20-point gap now. They'll bump it out to Hudson Brown from the key 3. Yes, sir. This is the point where they take out most of the starters, bring in the guys. I mean, a 30-point gap at this point with 40 seconds. Big celebration for Kenyon Owino, 2,000 career points.
Couldn't have done without my team, without my coaches, without my family, all my supporting cast. So just shout out to all of them.
It seems like whatever you wanted tonight. A couple of threes, the spin move was on point. It was like taking lunch money tonight. Talk about that.
So it was just a good game plan our coach put together. Shout out my teammates for finding me, and it was a good team win.
So 97-65 is the final score, and it's always fun to watch the Volcano Vista Hawks in those post games because all the players surround them. You heard right there David Lunn, hyping up Kenyon while they were talking. So the Volcano Vista Hawks remain unbeaten in the state of New Mexico's 5A. So do we have some time left here or no? Looks like we're going to go and take one more break. When we come back, we'll talk about where 4 and 5A stand in the state of New Mexico, as well as what we've got coming up here on ProView Sports. Stick around on the ProView Sports Report.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Welcome back here. Came back a little bit too early there. By the way, you might notice brand new desk here on the Sports Report. Want to shout out the folks here at 519 Central. They got these new panels. They got the new desk. We got a new chair, everything. And you can shoot your own shows down here at 519 Central. Just get in touch with Joseph Lynch out here. Visit them at 519 studio519.com. But it's time here on the Sports Report to take a look at where things sit in 4A standings in the state of New Mexico, both boys and girls. Ton of teams up there, and so we'll go ahead and first start with the boys. So Gallup leading District 1 there. They had a victory against Bloomfield during the last week, and that's what's got them sitting up there 7-2 over the 6-3 Bloomfield Bobcats. Kirtland Central right behind them at 5-4. District 2 has been an interesting one on the boys' side as Espanola Valley leading that one 6-1. Pewaukee Valley did beat them this week. Oh wait, whoops, we forgot to do the scoreboard. Let's look at the scoreboard first. That's what forgot about that one. That would explain some of this stuff. Let's talk about the girls' side first. So obviously that Farmington Volcano Vista win puts them tied at the top of the district. The St. Pius Sarton girls beating Valencia Jaguars 35-26 puts St. Pius at the top of that district. On Friday night, Albuquerque High School beating Los Lunas for the second time this season, getting a stranglehold on that district. And then the next day, playing against La Cueva for the third time of the season, and La Cueva would win the rubber match 46-42. The girls from Silver on Tuesday beating Deming, putting them atop their district. And then, whoops, says Volcano Vista. It's supposed to say Robertson, 42-39 over St. Michael's. And then last night, Valencia beating Highland, putting them in good position there in 4A on the boys' side. Texaco losing to Logan, putting Logan in a good spot when it comes to the state seating and selection show. Then this Pewaukee Valley victory over Taos on Thursday. Del Norte beating Albuquerque Academy, putting Del Norte in position there in the 4A side. Rio Rancho beating the Cibola boys 74-62. Hope Christian beating Valley 57-54. And then, of course, later on, Valley would beat Del Norte. So everybody beating everybody in that district like we were talking about before. Huge win for the Robertson Cardinals on Tuesday, 56-55 over St. Michael's to kind of buck the losing trend that they were having there. And then Pecos beating Santa Rosa 71-67. And then last night, we talked about Santa Fe, 63-60 victory for La Cueva in Santa Fe. Puts La Cueva in good spot in that district. Now let's look at boys 4A. So Silver hold of district number 3, 5-0. They're not going to be beat there. Artesia holding on to district 4, 5-0. District 5 is St. Pius, undefeated 7-0 there. And then that district 6 side. So since everybody's beating everybody, with Del Norte beating the Albuquerque Academy Chargers, it looked like they might have a shot for that. But then their loss to Valley drops them to 4-3, so they're tied for second in the district. And then Hope Christian, with their win over the Valley Vikings, puts them at 3-4. They are in range, depending how the end of the week goes. On the girls' side, Kirtland Central with the 2 victories over the Gallup Bengals have a hold at 9-0. They will win that district. Gallup and Shiprock are close to each other in that second spot. Espanola Valley, Pewaukee Valley, just like in the boys' side, they're duking it out for first in the girls' District 2. Deming and Silver, that win for Silver made it tied atop that district, 4-1, so they might have a district tiebreaker coming up on Monday. Portales, a hold of District 4. District 5, St. Pius beating Valencia last week. Again, that is huge here because now they might have a district playoff coming up on Monday. And then Albuquerque Academy girls will win District 6, 8-0 on the 4A side. Quick look at the 5A side. Volcano Vista will win District 1, but like I mentioned, Cibola beating Farmington makes it 5-4 and 4-5. Now, if Cibola can beat Volcano Vista, we'd be talking about potentially tying for the second spot. If they can't, Farmington would need to beat Piedra Vista, and if they can do that, then they would be tied with Cibola for that 3 spot. Sandia, hold of District 2, 8-1. They will finish out against the Santa Fe Demons, who are 7-2. Santa Fe and La Cueva tied for second, but La Cueva will play Manzano, who hasn't won in district yet, while Santa Fe has to play Sandia for that second spot. Then Oregon Mountain, a hold of District 3. District 4 is a toss-up right now with Hobbs and Roswell tied at 4-1. And then the Albuquerque the Albuquerque High School Bulldogs in the driver's seat there in District 5. But Atrisco Heritage are sniffing right at their heels. On the girls' side, we have that tie atop District 1, 7-2, which could very well come down to a tiebreaker on Monday. Sandia, 9-0. Our hold of District 2 in girls, Mayfield 9-0 in District 3, Hobbs 5-0 in District 4, and the Albuquerque High Bulldogs beating Los Lunas twice in district mean that they will cruise atop District 5. So we will take a look quickly at our schedule for this weekend. So tonight, Albuquerque High School versus West Mesa. That will be on Game Vision. We'll have Sebastian and Sebastian will be there. I'm not sure who he's going to bring along. State Swimming's this weekend. Our director, Ty Metzger, and I will both be there. So you can catch that on the NFHS network. Look under the NMAA stream for that one. We also have Cleveland and Rio Rancho playing. Big game for Cleveland, especially if the Cibola Cougars can beat Volcano Vista. Highland and St. Pius playing as well. And then we've got NMHU basketball coming up tonight, I believe, on Comcast 26. So first they play Colorado Christian tonight, 5 and 7. Girls game at 5, boys game at 7. Then they will play University of Colorado, Colorado Springs on Saturday. Women's game starts at 1 p.m. The men's game is at 3 p.m. And then the Wichita Wings come back to town. See if Coach Brian Weems can get his team over the Wichita Wings for the first time. That's Sunday night, 3:05 on the Runners YouTube. So you'll want to catch that one. So that's all we've got for you here on the ProView Sports Report. Reminder, next week for the district playoff games, you can catch, if there's any Monday night games, come to our website. We will have them up there, or just check Game Vision, check the NFHS network. We will absolutely have district tiebreakers, and all of the district schedule will be here on ProView Sports. I want to thank you for tuning in today. Thank our director, Ty Metzger. I'm Aaron Rivera saying thank you. Catch you next week. Bye.